I don't have a craft video for you today because I've got crafts on the go and I am doing them. I'm in the process of making them. I've got one currently over there. It will be a craft from a horror movie, psychological horror, and I'm very excited about it. However, there are two outfits that kind of go hand in hand that I wanted to do, and I wanted to bring them out similar-ish time, like a week between them, and I know what I'm like when it comes to making and editing, and I will get distracted, so I figured I will make and film all of it before even uploading one of them. So because of that, I was like, I should bring out a video before then, but I don't want to start necessarily a new craft. I was trying to think of things to do, and I got recommended a video by Hordes of Horror, which was her A to Z of horror movies that she would recommend people to watch. And I thought, that's a really good idea. I'm going to steal that and do it. So I have my list in this fairy 3D book, 26 movies that I would recommend people to watch if they haven't already. I will tell you the title of the film, the year it came out, and a very brief description, and then the type of horror movie it is. So let's start. I've not done just a general talking to the camera video in a while. Autopsy of Jane Doe came out in 2016 and is a paranormal horror movie about two coroners, a father and son duo, who get given the body of Jane Doe and they have to find the cause for her death. If you enjoy paranormal horror movies, ones that really make you think as well, I would highly recommend this movie. Bird Box is a 2018 horror movie. It follows the story of a woman who takes her two children to a safe place away from invisible monsters. If you enjoy paranormal and the unknown and monsters, I would recommend watching this movie. Case 39 is a movie that came out in 2009, follows a social worker who ends up fostering one of the children that she is assigned the case for. After the main character fosters this girl, she starts to realise that maybe what the previous foster parents were saying was more true than she cared to believe. I would recommend this movie if you enjoy creepy children being a main character, and if you enjoy creative deaths. Dead Silence is a horror mystery movie that came out in 2007. Dead Silence follows a young man who's recently widowed, who ends up going back to his old hometown to try and figure out what could have caused his wife's death. I'd recommend this movie if you enjoy paranormal jump scares, an intense atmosphere, and dolls. Escape Room came out in 2019. It follows a group of people who all get individually asked to come to an elite style escape room. However, this soon turns deadly and they all end up having to fight for their lives. If you enjoy unique deaths and intricate puzzles, I would highly recommend watching this movie. Freaky came out in 2020 and is a horror comedy based around what would happen if a murderer accidentally switched bodies with a teenage girl. If you enjoy unique death sequences and dark comedy, I would highly recommend this movie. Ghost Stories came out in 2017. This movie centres around a paranormal skeptic whose job is to disprove the paranormal. The movie centres around him being given 4 stories and him trying to disprove them. If you enjoy jump scares, creepy atmospheres, and fun plot twists, I would highly recommend watching this movie. Hush is a movie that came out in 2016 and centres around a deaf-mute girl who is being tormented by an intruder. If you enjoy cool main characters and intruder movies, I would highly recommend watching this movie. Identity is a 2003 horror movie about 10 strangers who all show up at a petrol station, and one by one they all start getting killed. If you enjoy psychological movies and mystery/crime thrillers, I would highly recommend watching this movie. Jennifer's Body is a 2009 horror comedy movie. It revolves around two young women who are best friends. However, one night, when one goes to an after party, when she comes back, she isn't quite what she seems. If you enjoy strong female lead characters and dark comedy, I would highly recommend watching this movie. Krampus is a 2015 horror movie that revolves around a family who end up getting tormented by Christmas spirits. If you enjoy dark comedy and fun horror monsters, I would recommend this movie. Last Shift is a 2014 horror movie that revolves around a policewoman who has been asked to guard an old police station before it gets demolished the next day. If you enjoy paranormal horror and fun jump scares, I would recommend this movie. Mirrors is a 2008 horror movie about a man who is trying to pull together his life that is currently in pieces by taking up a new job as a night shift attendant. If you enjoy mirrors and paranormal horror, I would highly recommend this movie. Nightmare on Elm Street is a horror movie that came out in 1984. It revolves around a group of friends who all end up getting tormented by a character who goes by the name Freddy Krueger whilst they sleep. If you enjoy psychological horror and fun visual effects, I would highly recommend watching this movie. Oculus is a 2013 horror movie revolving around two siblings who go back to their childhood home to try and figure out what haunted them when they were younger. If you enjoy mirrors and psychological horror, I would highly recommend watching this movie. Pyramid is a 2014 horror movie based around a group of archaeologists who end up stumbling into a pyramid that may contain a lot more than they were hoping for. If you enjoy found footage movies and unique deaths, I would recommend watching this movie. Quarantine 2 Terminal is a horror movie that came out in 2011. The movie revolves around a group of people who find themselves trapped in a terminus at an airport whilst a deadly infection goes round slowly plaguing them all. If you enjoy visual horror movies and zombie films, I would highly recommend watching this movie. Ready or Not is a horror comedy movie that came out in 2019. It revolves around a woman who is to marry into a wealthy family. However, before they see her as the actual official bride, she is required to play one game of hide and seek. If you enjoy unique deaths, dark humour and strong female characters, I would recommend watching this movie. Skeleton Key is a 2005 horror movie. It revolves around a woman who is asked to be the carer for a disabled man who is wheelchair bound. When she arrives on the property to help, she starts seeing things that she can't quite explain. If you enjoy paranormal horror and elements of witchcraft, I would recommend watching this movie. Till Death is a horror movie that came out in 2021. This movie revolves around a woman who is unfortunately chained to her dead husband whilst also being hunted by two killers. If you enjoy strong female characters and intense scenes, I would recommend watching this movie. Us is a 2019 psychological horror movie about a family who go on holiday and are very quickly interrupted by their holiday by a group of doppelgangers. If you enjoy strong main characters, unique deaths and tense settings, I would recommend watching this movie. Voices is a 2014 dark comedy/horror movie revolving around a guy whose pets end up talking to him and telling him sinister thoughts and plots. If you enjoy dark comedy and talking pets/inanimate objects, I would recommend watching this movie. Windchill is a 2007 horror movie. It revolves around two college students who find themselves stranded on the side of a road when a heavy storm hits. If you enjoy paranormal horror and good jump scares, I would recommend watching this movie. X is a 2022 horror movie based around a group of friends who go to an old barn to film a movie. However, their plans soon get interrupted by a murderous couple. If you enjoy unique deaths and strong female leads, then I would recommend watching this movie. Your Next is a 2011 horror movie based around family who find themselves being stalked by 3 killers. If you enjoy strong female leads, unique deaths and clever plot twists, I would recommend watching this movie. And finally, Zombieland is a horror comedy revolving around a group of people who find themselves surviving a zombie outbreak. If you enjoy dark humour and zombie films, I would recommend watching this movie. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and I do hope that I've managed to tell you some movies that you may not have heard of before and ones that have possibly piqued your interest. I do appreciate that I have said some movies that are classic horror, and I've also said some movies which had some backlash when they were brought out, but just remember that this list is entirely my own, and these opinions are entirely my own, and you are entitled to your own opinions. And that's the joy of being human, because we can both have different opinions on what good movies there are. If you have any movie recommendations that you want me to watch, do recommend them. I normally don't do movie reviews, but I have done movie reviews in the past. I normally do more creative videos, making outfits from horror movies, making outfits from general media. So let me know if this is something you would also like more of me talking about movies. You should like this video. If you don't want to leave a comment, just like this video, because that then shows me that you did enjoy it, and I'll be more likely to make a video like this. If you do enjoy horror content, then you should subscribe, because 50% of what I post is horror content. And I will see you at some point when I make another video. Bye.